what's really exciting right now for you in your Parliamentary Secretary role for the future of Alberta? Give me a couple things that you're just like, this is driving me forward.
So the big thing for me is the regions and areas, and literally I kind of put it to folks, I want one dusty cowboy boot in Alberta at all times, and the other one's touching salt water.
Right.
Now the salt water doesn't just have to be on our own shoreline. So literally under that role, and with those organizations, CSG was another one that we're involved with, and the Energy Council, I'm tied in with that. With that role, I've had the opportunity of, under the minister, so the Premier, being her Parliamentary Secretary for Intergovernmental Affairs, I literally can look at Europe.
Yep.
Europe has been here shopping for our stuff. We've been over there talking with Germany directly. They came over. President of Poland came over here. We had the Romanians were over here as well. Their energy ministers meeting with them, talking about how we kind of work that together. Central America is another one, working with El Salvador, which is a very big up-and-comer in Central America. They're wanting to do work with us. Taiwan wants to work with us. They want to make sure they have secure supply chains and options for them as well. India, heading over there in the fall, like that's a big market. They're the largest population on the planet, the largest democracy, potentially by 2040, the largest economy, and we've got a lot of really good friendships and inroads there. The Arctic is important because that becomes the new Panama Canal.
Yeah.
It's not by chance that Russia's developed, 14, 15 different nuclear icebreakers, and they're eating that up like you wouldn't believe. Why they developed the Yamal Peninsula, why China in 2014 declared themselves an Arctic nation. Those are big things that I'm working on. So with me, given the latitude and the freedom to basically chase after these things, make those deals, meet with people internationally, go to some of these fancy dress parties, doing that and meeting consulate generals, I'm meeting with governors, I'm meeting with different ambassadors as well. For me, being a farm kid from Alberta, it's pretty friggin' huge. Having the ability to talk to people just as you and I are resonates with them. You can't fake authenticity, and when you drop down and all the other pomp and circumstance and all the other things, it really comes down to those basic things. People are wired the same way. They want to make sure they've got a safe place to be. They just want to earn a decent living. They want to take care of their family. They want security for the kids. When we boil it down to those basic things, Alberta is such a place to be. The Consulate General from the UK wanted to introduce me to the High Commissioner. I'm thinking, oh good, this is like, how am I going to embarrass myself now? There's always that in the back of your mind, right? So when I spoke to this lady, she wanted to speak to me. I thought it was a nice, 2-minute conversation. No, she literally had other ambassadors, consulate generals racked up. She wanted to talk to me, and she did for about half an hour on all the things that we just spoke about. And the way she put it to me was, I like Alberta. She goes, when I come here, anything seems possible. Anything seems possible. You're so energetic, and what can we do to work together?
That's amazing.
To me, that's what keeps me going. Every person you meet, every time you make that connection, you're not only representing our country the way it should be represented, you're talking about who we are as Albertans, and you're dispelling a ton of myths. When we had the consulate generals all meet together, it was the first time since 2015. It was Premier, myself, 3 other ministers were there, and we had all these questions coming out from around the world, literally folks that we do business with or tie in with. There was so many myths that were out there. To be able to get rid of all the stuff that's in CBC, XYZ, and all these other news outlets that think they're doing a good thing, but they're actually giving us all a black eye and a terrible reputation as a country. Once we dispelled all the myths and told them exactly what we're doing on the energy file, the environmental file, what we were doing with renewables, what we were doing with hydrogen, where we're at in these things, all of that other stuff dissipated. And they're like, oh, well, we got to do work together. Absolutely. That's what keeps me going, is that next conversation is going to lead to stuff that not only you and me will benefit from, but our great grandkids will benefit from. That's what keeps me going.